What's up, family? You see, the goal isn't to be perfect, as you can read by the title. The goal is to be consistent. You see, for the longest time, I was mixing up consistency and doing good with being perfect. There was plenty of days since I said we was talking about these past 2 years. There's been plenty of days where I'm doing the small wins, such as my workout after work, or making up my room, or even wins such as making content. And what I realized is those days were building my happiness. Those days were building that person who I want to be. It was helping me see, hey, I'm not over here cranking 2-hour sessions in the gym. Hey, I'm not over here making an hour full of content that got all these great edits. And hey, I'm not over here, making my room perfect every day. But I'm doing something. That 1% that I was doing was proving to myself, hey, you can do it. That's what consistency is being like. I would have days where I'd be in the gym and I'm going crazy. Whether it's Stairmaster, I'm doing a little extra time. Whether it's I was actually doing some cleans the other day. Clean, for, if you know working out. But whether I was doing cleans and I felt like, okay, my form is a lot better. Whether it was me cleaning my room, I'm like, hey, it looks nice today. I realized those moments, like I said, were building me into the person I wanted to be. Instead of, okay, let's say I did 30 minutes on the Stairmaster thinking I could do the same thing the next day and the next day after that. It's like, hey, man, you just got back in the gym. Obviously, you're not going to be perfect and be able to do that. Let's slow it down so that you can still be consistent. Or cleaning my room crazy to the point where it's like, I'm cleanly, but not the craziest cleanly person. So just, moving some my clothes around, or just folding my clothes, or just, put my bed back together because I got like a couch bed. Just those would be like, hey, you did something today. You made this place look a little better. So what I'm trying to tell y'all is that when you're trying to become a better person, don't mix up consistency with perfection. Because I can tell you about the downsides. When I mixed up consistency with perfection, I would have one day where I didn't do my push-ups. And I'm sitting there in my room like, man, I failed. I wasn't on top of all my habits that I wanted to do. Man, I failed. When in reality, it's like, nah, man, you just wasn't perfect. You hit all the other points, you just didn't hit that. Or something that I've been doing within these past couple months, writing. I like to write. I like to make poetry and try to make it into music. And there'll be days where I'm writing like 3 pieces, maybe not full pieces, but just 3 thoughts, in separate notes, and I'm writing a lot, and I'm like, man, I did a good amount today. I feel good. Then there'll be days where I might just write one, or might write half of one, and there's really nothing that I can do anything with, but it's like, hey, I put my thoughts on paper. I was consistent with it. But there'll be times where I didn't do it, and again, my brain would be like, damn, I didn't write. How am I going to get better? Blah, blah, blah. And it's like, yo, we not trying to be perfect. We just trying to be consistent. You know what I'm saying? That one little writing that I did for the day, that's better than not doing anything. And even if I missed a day, if the next day you do 2, make up for the day you missed, hey, that's good too. When it comes to my vices, there was plenty of times where I'd be doing good and I go into a vice. Like I said, I'll make a video about my vices sooner. Sooner than later. But yeah, I would indulge in a vice, and I'm like, damn, why'd I do that? Now the whole thing restarts. Everything I was doing just fails. But it's like, nah, that's not the case. You could have one bad day in the gym and come back and be great. I think about it like sports. You could have a bad game. Your favorite NBA player can have a bad game one night, come out the next night and drop 40. It's like whether or not you use that bad day or that one day of not being consistent to fuel you to make the next day even more hard and just consistent, or you let that one bad day of not being consistent fuel your mind into thinking that now you got to restart. Everything you did was for nothing. And the next day you drown in that type of emotion, thinking that you just fucked up the whole system that you were building. When in reality, you just had a hookup. So yeah, I'm not gonna make this video too long, but like I said, I wanted to be more consistent with this YouTube thing. I made a video a couple of days back about accountability, but I think I touched too deeply into some of the stuff I'm personal about. So that video might come out a few weeks from now, maybe a couple months from now, or maybe I'll just make a new one about that topic, reiterating some things. But yeah, as I'm making these YouTube videos, I'm slowly but surely bringing myself back on here, trying to do once a week. And that's another note I can end on. You know what I'm saying? A part of me, when it comes to this consistency versus perfection thing, was thinking like, man, if you don't make a YouTube video every day, you're failing. Because a lot of the YouTubers who post about becoming big on YouTube talk about that. They say you gotta make it every day so your face is constantly out there. And then when I think about it, I did that back in 2024. I was making at least 4 or 5 YouTube videos every week, and it was fun. It was fun. And today, I could do the same, but I want to kind of give myself a little bit more time to get through what I'm getting through right now, and slowly think of better topics, things that I'm actually going through, things that I've been through, things that feel relevant to the now. So I will also be making some more videos that speak on directly what has affected me in these last 2 years, but I'm gonna be slower with that. You know what I mean? I want life to kind of slow down a little bit before I get deep into those things. But yeah, I appreciate you for watching my YouTube video. If you've been around for a while, leave a like, leave a comment. If you're new here, what's up? My name is Malik. This is Leak's Legacy. Hope you had a good time watching. And remember, consistency does not mean perfection. Just because you mess up, don't mean you gotta fail the whole thing that you just did. Just wake up the next day and get back to it. You don't gotta be perfect. You just gotta be consistent. Till next time, I'm out.